going forward, you opened up the can of worms, so we're gonna have a nice little discussion. And me and you talked about this off air. Mm-hmm. What is going on with the Phoenix Mercury?
The Phoenix Mercury.
In the words of Brian Windors, what is going on with the Phoenix Mercury?
The Phoenix Mercury, they were coming in this, the grinding situation, I think nobody saw that coming. So coming in, they're supposed to be one of those super teams. I mean, you got Brittany Griner, Diana Taurasi, and Skylar Diggins. Then there's the Griner situation, which started even before the season, way before the season started. That's overwhelming.
Not to cut you off, wasn't Tina Charles over there?
Yep.
Before she got traded. So then you also had Tina Charles over there. So go ahead.
So where I'm going with this. So you lost, Griner situation started. Sandy Bordello left. I don't know what happened with that. I don't think I looked into that as much as I should have. But Bordello's gone. So now you got a new coach. Griner's not there. Tina Charles wanted out. They're looking for Skylar Diggins. They possibly options to trade her, which after what I saw that game the other night against the Liberty, good luck with that. So I don't know what you're going to build, but let me make this very clear. You're at the bottom of the conference. You're not on top of that now. You have a 40-year-old Diana Taurasi. So what are you going to do when you trade Skylar Diggins? You now sent Tina Charles up there to Seattle, which is the number one team, because Tina Charles in her career, she wants a title. And she's not trying to be here to have the arguing and the mess and all the mess that's going on in Phoenix. She wants no parts of that. She left. You're going to trade Skylar Diggins, and who you going to get and what you going to get for? To bring with a 40-year-old Taurasi, who at this point has got to be the same thing, thinking the same thing. I'm trying to win titles. You get what I'm saying?
I'm about to throw you the alley-oop. But before I do that, my take is, and I don't, I hate doing this as a media outlet, only speaking on the bad stuff. Mm-hmm. But I don't know what's going on behind scenes. If you've been following them, there was an incident where the coach made some remarks about this isn't a real all-star game if Diana Taurasi isn't there when your leading franchise player is right there, Skylar Diggins, and she's in the all-star game. So she felt slighted and let it be known. Called her a clown on Twitter, and that sent media in an uproar. Me personally, just as not being a fan of Skylar Diggins, but how do you trade a franchise player who, if I'm doing my research, she's still young. She's in her 20s, correct?
In Diggins, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. How do you trade a franchise player of her talent, who, if you build around her correctly, can lead you to a deep playoff run, but you have so much dysfunction there? I don't like the trade talks for her. It's equivalent of, again, I don't want to compare the W to the NBA because I like to give the W their respect. But it's like saying, oh yeah, we're just about to. Who's the player on the Knicks?
What, you mean Julius Randle? Or RJ Barrett?
No, Lord
RJ
Jesus.
Barrett?
Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, we're just gonna trade RJ Barrett for no reason. Yeah. No, you just don't do that.
Right.
Not with that youth and not what he can offer. Mm-hmm. You don't trade Skylar Diggins. I don't care. You're gonna have to fix that stuff behind closed doors. I'm actually siding with Skylar Diggins. No disrespect to the coach, but I ain't feel that comment myself. Mm-hmm. But anyway, that's my take. You don't trade Skylar Diggins for nothing. But I'm gonna throw you the alley-oop. You opened a can of worms with the Phoenix Mercury, so I'm gonna let you get your take on that.
So, if they were to trade her, who would you want for her?
You got to get a haul. I know things are different with the W in the NBA, but you're not trading her just for a draft pick.
Yeah.
No.
There's no way. Like Skylar Diggins right now is in her bag. That's a walking 27 and 6 assists a night. That's a walking 27.6 assists a night.
You're gonna have to get a top 5 player for her.
Have to with draft picks.
Top 5.
So that answers that.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you see if they don't resolve this? Mm-hmm. What do you see happening with them? With the locker room stuff? Matter of fact, given the context of what I just said with the coach and her calling, do you think that can be resolved?
No, I mean, there's a possibility it can be resolved. It'll take a lot of work, but I think it could be resolved, possibly.
I'm gonna be honest.
Or you think it's beyond repair?
I'm gonna be honest, and people not gonna want to hear this, especially sports players, because usually it's, oh, you got to give the coach the respect. You want to give the coach the respect and pretty much disband the team, because that's where this is gonna go. Don't know what needs to happen, but somebody needs to give that girl an apology and let her know that she's welcome in Phoenix. Like,
I don't know what the problem was, but if I'm the Mercury GM and it's not the coach, if the coach, because a lot of these WNBA teams, usually the coach is the GM. I don't know, but if I was the GM and it was not the coach, I would have talked to Tina Charles and said, you need to tell me why you want to leave and the reason why you want to leave. I need to know why you want to, because
so you can better assess the situation.
We'll give you what you want to get out of here, but I want to know why you want to leave.
Like an exit interview.
Because there's something going on. There was something going on in there that ain't sitting right. Now Cunningham's there. I don't, with Griner, they're a way better team. So we probably wouldn't be having this conversation if Griner was home and playing. But I need to know why Tina Charles wanted out. I need to know why. It's not just because of the losing. I want to know what else was in there that you saw that said, yo, I want out of here.
As a coach,
I already see what's coming. I want out of here. You know what I mean? Because, and we talked about this before, you need to find out what's in your locker room, what's going on. Because no matter what, if you trade Skylar and that's not really the answer, you're going to be trading a lot more later on. Do you really want to push the reset button? And maybe they need to look at that because, you got Taurasi and she's 40 years old and your best player. If you let go of Skylar Diggins. So, maybe you might want to start. Shout out to Dawn Staley again, like Selena said. Maybe you want to start looking at her players then, and if you want to start over again.
I thought she was about to say offer her. No, she signed a multi.
No, she ain't going nowhere.
You get way more money in college being a college coach than you do a WNBA coach.
Good point. What? Before we transition, if you're the GM, what would you? Outside of the exit interview and knowing the knowledge,
Phoenix,
how would you approach fixing this?
I would talk to Taurasi and I would talk to Diggins, and I would try to find out what's going on, and I would try to find out from other players, because I'm not talking to the coach at this point. It got out of hand. We saw when Skylar Diggins said something, got into it with Taurasi. Now let me also get the flip side of this. If I'm the GM too, I remember when she was in Dallas and she wanted out. She wanted out of there. I don't know what happened, but she said that they weren't committed to winning. You're here with the exception of what happened to Griner. We were having a super team, but whatever happens, you and Taurasi ain't getting along right now. So you need to, or whatever it was just a one-time incident, but there's something wrong. It's something wrong. And if it's the coach, then maybe we need to figure out, as a GM, you're going to have to make a hard decision. You've told me this before, even in business. Whatever decision you make, you're going to have to stick with it. So if I'm the GM, I'm thinking in the back of my head, I'm going to talk to this coach. I just said I wouldn't, but I'm going to talk to this coach and find out. And what I would tell the coach is, if I have to trade Skylar Diggins and I don't get what I want, and this doesn't come out the way I want, if I'm looking for a job, you're going to be looking for one too. So I can assure you, it's just what it is. So it's just like, in Skylar Diggins, unlike the Durant debacle, which we'll talk about later, with Skylar Diggins, like if I'm on the phone as a GM, it's, for example, if New York said, well, what do you want for Skylar? I want Sabrina Nescu. You're going to give me Sabrina Nescu. That's how good Skylar Diggins is. You're going to give me Sabrina Nescu because I'm not listening to nothing else you're telling me.
That's gonna segue. We're not the next segment, but when we talk about Kyrie, we're gonna talk KD. We're gonna talk about the demand of what you want for a player of that caliber. Before we get off topic, are you guys good with this?
Yeah.
Yeah.